or you're thinking about moving overseas or becoming an expat, well, what is a realistic budget that you should probably be thinking about before you decide to move? Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, I'm now 10 years into the game as an expat. I am on my fourth country, third continent in Lusaka, Zambia. And one of the things that I'm starting to do is just share some of the things I've learned along this 10-year journey. And if you're thinking about becoming an expat or already one, why you should be looking at the opportunities that exist here in Zambia. So yesterday I found this YouTube channel while I was out getting some food, and it was pretty interesting. It was a guy in the Philippines, and he was talking about how he's broke, he's struggling. And I just kind of went through his videos to look at him, and his budget was horrible. One, he didn't have an understanding of where he's really spending money. He didn't have an understanding of how much money he really needs to live the lifestyle that he wants. And it was just interesting to me because he was on the internet complaining, I guess, or I don't know, I guess educating people. But it was like he was not trying to do anything to better himself. So I went through the history, and it's like 2 or 3 years of just the same videos. I'm broke, I'm this, I'm broke. And I'm like, 2-3 years, man, you should have figured out a way. Especially the Philippines is a very affordable place to live. And so it really motivated me to do this video. I usually don't talk about finances, things like that. As far as my personal, I do believe you have to have an understanding of what is your living standards. And so you have to have an understanding and a control over how you want to live your life. And so because of that, that's why I usually stray away from budgeting, my monthly budget, things like that. But after watching that video and seeing so many people, you know, encouraging him and saying like, oh man, you give me hope to do it. No, do not leave your home country where you have the potential to earn more money to go into a country where you can't legally work and you're not going to be able to take care of yourself. Like, do not do that. And so I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and share with you my budget. And this is just a rough budget, what I do each and every month, just to give you an example of how am I able to do my lifestyle. So for me, I bring in about 103,000 kwacha a month. That is from my military pension, which is, as long as I'm living, I get that every month, which is one of the reasons why I made that sacrifice to go to the military. And so that is my actual income that comes in each and every month. And so my rent is 5,000 kwacha. Now, remember, I tell you, I believe what you bring in and what you're paying should not be more than about 5%. So I'm like right there at that 5% mark. So if I'm bringing in 103,000 kwacha, my rent is 5,000 kwacha. Now I could go and afford something 12,000, 15,000, up to 20,000. But I'm telling you from experience, like, it's not worth it. And if you really want to be focused on generational wealth, you don't have to give up a living standard to be within a 5% range. Like, that is the catch when you leave to go overseas. You don't have to go to these places that's targeting Americans, that's trying to just get you for dollars. Like Louisville Homes, Kingsland City, where you're gonna be paying 1,200, 1,300. I think Louisville is like 800, 900. You don't have to pay that. Like, you can pay and live around the regular middle class people and live a very nice, comfortable life. So on my electricity, I pay about 300 kwacha a month. We're talking about less than $10 almost. I think it's maybe $11. Like, that's one of the things that's crazy about here. Like, electricity is very affordable. And that's why I'm actually thinking about setting up eventually over time, once I start developing the lands, have just a whole Bitcoin miner place, server place with its own completely off-grid electric, everything, to just have that running, because electricity is so affordable here in other countries. Internet, I pay about 850 kwacha a month. I'm gonna be honest with you, internet is not that great here. The speed is decent. Like, I have a 5G internet box with Airtel, but any given day, the signal and the reception isn't that great. I do have a Starlink mini Wi-Fi router, does dish. However, I'm waiting because I'm on the waiting list. Once they get more satellites over and spots available, So once that happens, I'll be using satellite, Starlink satellite service. And that's going to go from 850 to about 1,300 or 1,400 kwacha a month. So just an extra $20. So it'll be about maybe $60 total US for internet. But that'll give me actual 100 megabyte. I'm trying to get that'll give me an actual 100 megabytes of internet upload and download. So that's going to be well worth the money. That's why I invested in the satellite system right now. For cleaner, I paid $2,400, which is about 85 to 95 US dollars. And that includes the transportation for her to get back and forth. Let me see, cell phone, I use about 200 kwacha. I'm sorry, 2,400 kwacha earlier, not dollars, 2,400 kwacha. And then for my cell phone, that's about 200 kwacha. And that's just to make sure I have data and talk time bundles and things like that. You do have to buy airtime here. It's not like the US. They don't have the unlimited plans, like $40 a month. So it actually, for me, I don't talk on the phone much. Like I tell people, just text me on WhatsApp and I'll get back to you. It's just simpler and easier that way. And so I don't pay even $10 a month for cell phone service. Food, I put about 5,600 kwacha a month. And what that is, that's if I want to go out to eat sometimes. That is very high price. I'm telling you right now, that is very high. I always budget high on it just in case if the electricity is real bad and I can't cook, or it also includes if I need to go top up on gas for my little gas hot plate. So all of that is included there. But realistically, I usually spend about 3,000 kwacha a month. And that's if I decide to eat out a lot. For my assistant, I pay her 4,000 kwacha a month. And that's just anything that I need in town or places that I know I don't want to go to. She can go do all of that for me, and then she just brings everything back. So that works out perfect. Miscellaneous dates. So like if I want to go on a date or something, sorry, I'm trying to keep the thing focused on me. I budget about 6,000, but I don't spend anywhere near that. I don't spend anywhere near that. Hey, on a month that I really want to do something, maybe 1,000 to 2,000 kwacha. I don't do much of that. Like the way I look at that, that's 6,000 kwacha for a date. That's 100 bricks I can buy for building a house. So everything I look at is from how many blocks can I buy to build a house. Then for my crypto investment, I do 1,400 kwacha a month, which is roughly 50 US dollars. And the reason I do that, I do dollar cost averaging. So every month I invest 50 US dollars into it. It goes straight out of my bank account, straight into the Robinhood platform. And as soon as I get it, I go ahead and I just move it around, buy pieces of Bitcoin here. I get a little bit of First Majestic Silver. I get a little bit of Dogecoin. And then if I see any up and coming meme coin, I get some of that also. And then on top of that, transportation, which is Yango. I usually spend about 3,000 kwacha a month. Now, this is one of the reasons why I'm finna just get a car sometime this year, just because I can be having that car make money for me on Yango, where that car could be bringing me in 2,000 kwacha a week, or almost 8,000 kwacha a month. Like, I'd rather cut off that transportation, use the car when I need it. I don't really need to go many places a lot. And then that way I can be making money on top of that. And then on top of that, for my plots and my land that I'm purchasing, it's 6,300 kwacha a month. That's actually about to reduce after next month to 4,000 kwacha, because I'll be finished paying on my shops, the plots that I bought to build the shops on. But then also at the same time, we're going to be purchasing products to start building the shops out, getting the foundation laid, getting the blocks up, getting all of that designed and ready to go. And so you may be asking, Jason, why are you paying monthly? I suggest you always get into a monthly payment, because just remember, you're not from here. You don't know if someone's being honest with you or not. And you need to take the time to make sure that that's someone you can trust. I'd rather lose 6,300 kwacha with someone being dishonest instead of losing 100,000 kwacha and giving it to them at once. And the thing is, People ain't going to sit and wait 10 months, a year if they're trying to rip you off. People don't do the long kind like that. Hey, what's up, little buddy? Little cat came to see me. And so that's how you want to be able to legitimately see if people are honest or not. Hey, don't come in, buddy. Yeah, I'll be out there. Don't come in, please. And so that's why I do payments instead of actually just paying something up front all at once. I've just seen this too many times from Panama, Colombia, hearing horror stories in the DR, people that was in other countries, Philippines, Thailand. You just get yourself in a payment plan, something that you know you can afford, no problem. And that way you just don't have any hassles. And then also I put 7,000 kwacha aside a month. No, don't come in, please. I'm shooting, man. I'm shooting a video. Yes, I'm shooting a video. I'll come talk to you. Sorry, it's the cat. So I put 7,000 kwacha aside a month for village banking. That is just a way to force myself to save. And that's saving in the local way that they save here sometimes. And it's just village banking where people come together. If you're in South Africa, they call it Stokeville. I can't remember what they call it in the US because they have it in the US. Some people do it where like a group of people come together, they save a set of money every month. But I can't remember what you call it. If you know, leave it in the comments, please. And then that's it. That is my total budget, which puts me at about 42,050 kwacha a month. And remind you, I bring in over 100,000 kwacha a month. Like, this is a very realistic budget. It gives me plenty of cushion in case there's something I want to do, if I need to travel somewhere, if I need to build, if I see a piece of land that's coming up, then I can purchase it. And this is how I'm able to do it. Like, realistically, I go to zero some months. But when I'm going to zero those months, that means I'm investing in something that is an asset. I'm not doing too much liabilities. If you see on here, the only liability that I plan on doing is purchasing a car, which I'm going to use my savings from village banking to do that. But also that asset is going to become, that liability is becoming an asset because I'm going to be renting it out to someone to use driving Yango. And so if you're really thinking about becoming an expat, like, start looking into this. And like, you need to have a ground understanding of your budget. Don't be like that guy in the Philippines. And then you're on YouTube making videos talking about you're broke. Live your best life, man. Don't come here to struggle. Like for me, and I'm gonna just share this, like, 'cause this is something I had to really come to terms with. Cause like me growing up, I saw my mom struggling and doing what she got to do to help take care of 3 boys by herself. It programmed me to have a fear of failing with money. And so even while I was married to Cece, like, she was in charge of the money because I trusted her more than I trusted myself. I didn't feel like I was equipped enough to handle money. And so for me, money is a stressor naturally. I naturally stress out on money. And the truth is, and I had to come to this last year, I had to have that come to Jesus, really talk to myself. And I was like, dude, when was the last time you really, really struggled? And the truth be told, it was probably 9 years ago when we first moved to Panama. And we just didn't have a budget in place because, everything was new. Everything was fun. We were going to the hotels every weekend. We were just going out to eat. We'll go here, pay for private car service. Made a horrible investment buying a 1984 Mustang. All of these things. But yet the truth was, we wasn't hurting. Like, it was never a time where we couldn't do anything. We never had a time where we need to reach out and ask people for money. And so I really had to come to that and understand that. And it kind of freed me a little. Now, do I still stress about money? Yes. Because now my stressor is, what can I do to make my money make babies? If that's purchasing land for future development, building the tiny homes, building shops, getting a car to put on Yango, all of these different things. So like, I'm switching my mindset to stress on a different side of money. But I'm gonna tell you, it's freeing. Not having to worry about, will I be able to eat today? Will I be able to pay my rent today? Like I don't have those stresses, and I haven't had those stresses in a very long time. The last real stress that I had before last year coming to Zambia was, will I be able to find residency in Africa without having to go to Ghana or Kenya or something like that? And you see, now I've settled down in Zambia. I have permanent residency. I'm doing things now to start building generational wealth. So once I start having kids, there's things that I can pass down to them. So they're starting from a different place than where I had to start. And so I really encourage you to start doing your budget. If you need a copy of this budget tracker that I use, I can send you a blank copy in email. Just leave a comment below with your email address, let me know, or shoot me an email and I'll get that out to you. But yeah, that's it, man. That's the budget. If you have any more questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll get back to you. And if you're someone who budget, let people know how that helps you. Like, I don't think people understand like how powerful having a budget really is. It really helps guide you and direct you into how to utilize your money better. And it also helps you see where you're mismanaging money. Let me just share this story with you. When I first started budgeting 15 years ago, I used to keep all the receipts in a little binder, everything. I used to do all of that coupon and everything. We were some cheap people because we was like, look, we're going to figure out how to get this finances in order because we didn't want to struggle and we didn't want to work ourselves till the day we no longer here. And I found out I was spending about $300 a month on gourmet cheese. And I was like, yo, on some fucking cheese. Cut that shit out. You know, sometimes you do things and make yourself feel like you're better than others, but then you realize I'm just being irresponsible. And that's what really changed it, man. Like when I started seeing like, I'm spending money here. I'm spending this much money on takeaway and I have a whole kitchen that I put together in my house, stainless steel, had the black countertops, everything. I was like, yo, this don't make any sense. And so start getting your budget and start looking at it and be real with yourself. Like, don't lie to yourself. You can lie to everybody in this world, but do not lie to yourself, especially when it comes to your budget, because you're going to see a lot of benefits from it. And so if you have, like I say, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And just remember, I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.